We are joined right now. It is our great pleasure to welcome the President of the United States, Donald Trump, calling in. Mr. Trump, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to have you on Fox and Friends today. As you said in your tweet, another slow news week.
Well, it certainly does. And they were spying on my campaign, and it went right up to the top, and everybody knows it, and now we're going to find out. You have Bull Durham, who's supposed to be the toughest. I've never met him, never spoke to him, but he's supposed to be the smartest and the best, and he works for Bill Barr, who's a great attorney general. We would have maybe have ended this thing a lot sooner had he been there originally. This was spying on my campaign, something that has never been done in the history of our country. This was an overthrow attempt at the presidency. They tried to overthrow the presidency. This is a disgrace. But I'm not surprised to see it. It's just starting to come up. I think this is nothing compared to what you'll see over the next couple of weeks.
These media outlets
people are sick. So my conversation was a perfect conversation. The Ukrainian president said, what are they talking about? They must think we're nuts in this country. Now, Adam Schiff is a sick puppy. He is it's been incredible. Now, what you're going to see, I predict, will be perhaps the biggest scandal in the history of our country, political scandal. But I guess that's the biggest, because what's more important than political?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that?
I think you're going to see things that are going to be incredible if it's done right. And I purposely stay out. I tell Bill Barr to handle everything. I wouldn't have to. I could get very much involved, but I purposely don't. And I haven't. And you know what? It's better that way, I guess.
How high did it go? Your opinion.
I think personally, I think it goes all the way, okay? Because I think it's impossible.
To Barack Obama.
For Brennan and for Clapper and for all of these losers that you had over there, I think it's impossible for them to be doing things. And let's see what it all says. But It's impossible. Susan Rice, they have the server, right, from the DNC, Democratic National Committee.
Who has the server?
Now, the FBI went in and they told him, get out of here. We're not giving it to you. They gave the server to CrowdStrike, or whatever it's called, which is a company owned by a very wealthy Ukrainian. And I still want to see that server. You know, the FBI has never gotten that server. That's a big part of this whole thing. Why did they give it to a Ukrainian company?
Are you sure they did that? Are you sure they gave it to Ukraine?
Well, that's what the word is, and that's what I asked actually in my phone call, if you know.
Right.
I mean, I asked it very point blank because we're looking for corruption.
But who is your source that's telling you this?
I can't tell you that.
President, was there quid pro quo, extortion, bribery?
No, not at all. And let me tell you, he's a sick puppy. He's so sick. This guy is so. I've been going through it for 2.5 years about Russia. I've been tougher on Russia than any president in history. How about the guy with the telephone? How about that one? I guarantee you that never took place. He said he's sitting there listening to me. I spoke so few times to him. But the guy yesterday on the telephone, David Holmes, yes, I heard the conversation. Well, I have really good hearing, and I've been watching guys for 40 years make phone calls, and I can't hear when and you could be 2 feet away. I can't hear people making calls. I can't hear the other side. The phone's up in the air unless you have it on a speakerphone. You can't do it.
Right.
That was a total phony deal. Went through, made no money.
But Mr. President,
all of a sudden his father becomes VP,
and
he's making millions and millions of dollars, not only from there, but from China.
Darling, is the wind blowing today? I'd like to watch television, darling. Russia, please, if you can, get us Hillary Clinton's emails. Please, Russia, please. He asked Russia to go get the emails. We're going to look into his finance. I said, where did that come from? He always talked about Russia. Russia, 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 Russia. My wife said, you never spoke to anybody from Russia, darling. I said, that's right. President Trump is waiting for the Mueller report. He's bad. He's a bad guy. Don, how you doing? Hey, Donnie. I love you, Donnie. For 35 years now, they call Mr. President, sir. How are you? Trains to Hawaii. How do you get to Europe? We haven't figured that one out yet. We don't use airplanes anymore. You don't get rich by sitting behind a desk, so I didn't want to do that. And I'm in the White House, and I was lonely. I said, let's go to Iraq. Okay, General Raisin Cane, how fast can... Sir, we can have it totally finished in 1 week. I said, 1 week? And yet I see senators that are there for 20 years. White hair. See, I don't have white hair. Yes, I agree with this. This speech should have been delivered 1 year from now, not now, damn it. Because they're going to grip together. They're going to say, you know, this guy's really laying for us. They say, there's Donald Trump, an intellectual. Trust me, I'm like a smart person. I'm like a smart person. I'm really smart, really, really, really smart. When you're really smart, like really, really, really smart like I am, my IQ is much higher than theirs, all right?
I have a very good brain.
I know words. I have the best words. But there's no better word than stupid.
The first reaction a whole lot of people had to what we're going to show you first tonight here was, do they think we're stupid? Before Dorian arrived, the president said it could hit Alabama among the other projected states. He said it out loud, said it on Twitter. Problem was, it was never in the National Hurricane Center forecast. His hurricane update from the Oval Office today. The holder of the poster board is your acting Secretary of Homeland Security, Kevin McAleenan. Trump displayed the so-called cone of uncertainty forecast back from August 29th, and there, apparently drawn in Sharpie on the far left, a cone annex of sorts, a protuberance, an appendage added on to include Alabama.
You see, it was going to hit not only Florida, but Georgia. It could have was going toward the Gulf. That was what was originally projected.
This is a photo of the Oval Office briefing back on the 29th.
President Trump tweeted, then quickly deleted this tweet last night. He wrote, "Congratulations to the Chiefs. You represented the great state of Kansas." His tweet has since been corrected to say Missouri. Now, there was so much confusion, in fact, that the Kansas City Police Department even tweeted out their own reminder.
I never forgot that, looking into his eyes in my household, what that does to a family.
What it did to the president was inspire a premature pronouncement.
Well, your father, Herman, is looking down. He's very proud of you right now.
He's still alive.
Oh, he is? Well, then he's even more proud of you.
19 days out from the election, you've been labeled a racist. You've been called a sexist.
Thank you very much.
How do you respond to that?
I am the least racist person you've ever met.
This after a woman came out accusing Trump of touching her.
Another woman came out today about the U.S. Open and groped her today. Can you answer allegations about that?
I know nothing about that.
About the U.S. Open allegations?
No, I don't know.
We're continuing to see the deterioration of Donald Trump's ability to think and to speak and to sort of turn what's in his brain into words that other humans can understand.
Since we came into the administration, since the election of 2016, since January 20th of 2017, we have done things with the military that few people would have thought possible. Budgets of $700 billion, $716 billion, and now $738 billion. Nobody would have thought that that was possible, but we had them approved by Republicans and Democrats, and that money is now building the most advanced equipment anywhere on Earth, equipment that nobody even could have conceived of even 2 years ago.
Put aside for a second that nothing he's saying is true or makes sense. There is much else going on here. This could be someone who's normally on uppers coming down or on an off day. That's one type of possibility. This could be continued cognitive decline, which we've been talking about. This could just be an exhausted 73-year-old.
Let us rethink old assumptions and open our hearts and minds to possible and possibilities. And finally, I ask the leaders of the region, political and religious, Israeli and Palestinian, Jewish and Christian and Muslim, to join us in the noble quest for lasting peace. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Israel. God bless the Palestinians. And God bless the United States. Democrats decided to shield and shelter criminal. Look, wait. You have criminals. He died like a dog. He died like a coward. He reached the end of the tunnel as our dogs chased him down. He ignited his vest, killing himself. Nobody was even hurt. Or canine, as they call. I call it a dog. Hello, America. Hello. In June of 1775, the Continental Congress created a unified army out of the revolutionary forces encamped around Boston and New York, and named after the great George Washington, Commander-in-Chief. The Continental Army suffered a bitter winter of Valley Forge, found glory across the waters of the Delaware, and seized victory from Cornwallis of Yorktown. Our Army manned the air, it ran the ramparts, it took over the airports, it did everything it had to do. And at Fort McHenry, under the rocket's red glare, it had nothing but victory. And when dawn came, their star-spangled banner waved defiant. We had a lot of rain. I stood in the rain. The teleprompter went out, so I had... Yeah, the teleprompter went out. It kept going on, and then at the end, it just went out. It went kaput. So I could have said, and actually right in the middle of that sentence, it went out. And that's not a good feeling.